creepy, and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
Have you guys not seen this disturbing video? Where there's a girl that gets picked up by the ambulance and police, and her vibe, her body language is just strange. Like, it seems like she's not even there. And she starts recording and she's like, "What's y'all problem?" The police officer was like, "Look, we found you driving 10 miles an hour through a red stoplight. Your car dragging around the curb. Not only that, you told us you were heading to Canada, but you were driving south. We just want to make sure you're okay." And I'm assuming she repeated this multiple times because the EMT was getting sick of her. Look at her eyes. All of us in the comments is like, something's wrong. This something wrong here. Now guys, then right after she posted another video and we're like, what the They let you back outside? First she's at a red light with the wipers, but there's no rain. The light turns green, but she just sits there, doesn't move. And she's just talking. She's just talking on the camera. She's over here like, "This is my location. If I disappear at this airport, the government did it. They came after me or took me out, or unalived me, whatever." Like, guys, it's strange. Some people think that she used substances. Some people were saying mania or manic eyes. So these are depression eyes and these are manic eyes. It's like a psychological condition where there's delusion, unreasonable euphoria. See, which that threw me off because I'm like, I'm exciting. I'm happy. Look at this shit. Like, see, feeling very happy. That's me. Talking very quickly. I have an issue with it sometimes. Feeling full of energy. That's me from God. Self-important. I don't got an ego. I don't know what that means, but like feeling full of great news and ideas. I have a lot of ideas. Getting easily distracted. I can get irritated sometimes. But see, the being delusional, having hallucinations and disturbed or illogical thinking, see, no, that's not me. And see, this is why I don't search up my symptoms no more on Google, because it turned me to a hypochondriac and like I never want to go back. But guys, yeah, deadass, go look. Go look.
It looks like her pupils were super dilated. What do you think?
Grew up in a haunted house, and these are my
Wow.
stories. The mimic was an entity that dwelled in the house. And it would do literally what its name is. It would mimic people's voices, but in a very odd and specific way. Mimic someone's voice exactly to a T, but it would sound like it's in low volume. Picture someone turning on the TV and watching it like at 5% volume. That's how low it would sound. It sometimes would sound like it's in the next room next to you, but it's still at that very low volume. Even if someone was like screaming, it sounded very low, like, "Hey, help." Like very, very low. I don't know really where it came from or if it was already in the house we moved in, but I do have a feeling it manifested the night my sister saw the old woman in her bedroom. On that night, while my sister was inside being terrified by the old woman, my mom and her friend were outside discussing, work and retail life, as you do when you work in retail. While they were talking, they heard someone like mocking them. That was spooky. Sorry. They heard someone mocking them from the back of the garage. Best way I could describe it is my mom would say something like, "Hey, how was your day?" And it would literally sound like, from the back of the garage. And they were hearing this and they're like, "What the hell is that?" So as two Latino women who are fearless, what did they decide to do? They decided to go investigate. Like they're thinking, oh, someone's in the yard, because they heard it clear as day, someone mimicking every single time they said something. And when they went to the back of the garage, nothing. There was like nothing there. And they're like, "Oh, well, it's late. It's like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Maybe we imagine it was a long day at work." And then they would hear from now the front of the garage, like just mocking them every single time they said something. And they went to the front of the garage to check it out. Now, you could say it was being a distraction because my sister was by herself upstairs with the old woman, and my mom and her friend didn't go back into the house until they heard my sister scream and then describe what she saw, which was the old woman, the story from yesterday. As I said, I don't know where it came from. It may have manifested itself that night. It may have been brought from the forested area with the old woman. I don't know. But I do know that's the first time we encountered it, and we encountered it many more times after that. But that is the story of the mimic. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll have another story for you tomorrow.
I'm wondering, are those mimics actually dangerous? Ah. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh, you. I love cats, man. Look at the eye.
Right now,
It's not jealousy, it's betrayal.
we are driving to the Chateau d'Amois. We just crossed over into Belgium, so we're out in the middle of nowhere in the Belgian countryside. This place is absolutely as notorious as they come. Definitely some anxiety in the air as we try to expose these creeps. This is a place a lot of people, I can guarantee, haven't heard of, but I want to raise awareness so that people do know what it is and they understand the very dark possibilities of what may be happening inside its walls. Yeah, we're 3 minutes away.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, looks like they got this place under fucking lock and key now. So we're right here. The chateau is right over here in this area to our left. The security here is fucking bananas. I mean, dude, this is actually crazy. Look at how thick this forest is here. You cannot see through. So like, whatever the fuck is even behind this, I don't even know. If the allegations of human hunting parties that happen here are true, that would mean that it would be most likely in this forest area where those kids are being hunted and murdered.
Look up Anik Lucas. She has a book detailing her childhood and young adulthood sold to these demons and what took place. The amount of wealth in that room is insane.
Good money on TikTok. You make like minute-long videos.
People call them like clippers.
I know some clippers of mine.
It's the easiest job ever.
I watched a video the other day about a guy who makes $15K a month.
This dude's making like $60K a month.
And like some were like 18 years old, like making like $20K a month just clipping.
I'll reveal to you a faceless side hustle better than clipping. With this method, you can easily start an Instagram or TikTok page in the AI niche and scale it through the roof. To start, I'm using InnoReader as it allows me to have all the latest viral stories about AI in one feed. Now pick a trending story in AI and head over to copycopter.ai. In here, click on Research, describe what the trending story is about, and click here. The AI will now generate a script for your video tailored to the topic. Next, you need to select a voice and pick a style. I'll showcase found media, because in here I can pick the best images for my video by myself.
Wow.
Once finished, click on Create Video. In this overview, you can modify the video one last time, choose a caption style, replace images with your own, and overall edit it to your needs. Now click Export and you'll have this.
OpenAI and Condé Nast have entered a significant multi-year content partnership.
Y'all gonna
That's awesome. I need more guide and info, please.
get tired of me saying this, but this is Aura in its purest form. So the story goes, a couple was living in the Chamkatska Peninsula. Remind me to tell you why that's important later, when their husky ran away from home. And after a few hours of searching, they fired up a drone to find him. Oh, they did. They found him, traveling with 3 bears. There's a lot to unpack here. Bears don't live in packs. That means this husky pulled up on a mother and her cubs and didn't get sent to dog backwards. You can tell they're barely tolerating him. Whole time the dog's having the time of his life. Hold on, what does this remind you of? I'll give you a hint.
I'm making waffles.
Now back to Kamchatka, not only does it have the highest density of brown bears on the planet, because they get a fresh supply of salmon from the peninsula, it's a brolic boulder beast that could little bro a grizzly. That's who this husky decided to shack up with. I just know the mom said ignore him and he'll go away, and now the whole family's in silence because she won't admit she was wrong. There's no report that the couple got their dog back, but I don't think that's not their dog no more. That's not even the first time. A farmer lost one of his cows, and for 2 months straight she was unaccounted for. Until 2 months later, she was caught posted up with a herd of wild bison. I could make a joke right now, but guidelines won't like it, so hopefully the comments do it for me. In 2016, scientists discovered that a pod of beluga whales had adopted a single lone narwhal. For reference, narwhals are socially anxious, people shy introverts that could literally get past tense by a panic attack. Life finds a way, the more you know.
Amen.
Oh, what the f that is, man? Look at the galaxy. Hey, stop playing, man. What the f that is, man?
That's another dimension right there. I'm probably gonna do that and see all my past.
It's another dimension right there.
What the f is that, man? Hey, that's a meteor. That bitch. Oh, boy, that's a meteor, what?
It's called Project Blue Beam, dog.
His biggest songs.
No.
It's called I'll Be Missing You. When it was released, it hit #1 on the Billboard's Hot 100 charts for 22 consecutive weeks, which is kind of insane. The lyrics read, every day I wake up, I hope I'm dreaming. I can't believe this shit. I mean, I saw your son, he looks just like you. You will always be the greatest. You'll always be the greatest. I miss you big. The chorus of the song goes, every step I take, every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away, what a life to take. What a bond to break. I'll be missing you. This song is probably the song that many people think of when they want to really resonate with lyrics of losing someone. It's often played at funerals. It's about missing someone that's gone too soon. The whole thing was technically taken, actually, this whole song, from Sting's Every Breath You Take. He took a sample of that song and he just rewrote the lyrics without receiving the proper permission. Sting actually gets 100% of the royalties for that song to this day, but that is besides the point. It was probably one of the most pivotal songs during that time, and it was a tribute to his fallen friend, Notorious B.I.G. It actually won him a Grammy. But the wild thing is, in 2024, if we live in a world where some of the conspiracies turn out to be true, that means Diddy would have written this song as a tribute to the man that he may have helped kill, and sang it alongside the wife of the man that was murdered.
I wouldn't be surprised.
The comments on the song I'll Be Missing You, the tribute song to Biggie, the comments now read, every breath Diddy takes, every move Diddy makes, every single day, every time he prays, the guards will be watching you. Another reads, making a song for the guy you killed, such a spineless animal.
So Sting being interviewed about Diddy's ripping off his song, Sting laughed when, asked if he gets royalties from it. He gets paid every time it's played.
Last month, he purchased a couch for his man cave, and this weekend he made a shocking discovery. It was filled with thousands of dollars in cash.
Still have to pinch myself to make sure I'm not dreaming or something. And
Kirby says that he had this ottoman for a few weeks before noticing that it was uncomfortable. And that's when his daughter decided to open it up.
And then she started pulling out this.
Oh my goodness.
A total of $43,170 was found in the ottoman cushion.
Wow.
But Kirby says he didn't feel right keeping the money, so he reached out to the restore to find out who had donated the couch. Turns out it was Kim Fouth Newberry. The couch originally belonged to her grandfather, and he died last year.
It's just crazy.
Today, the restore held a big surprise for Fouth Newberry, to give back every dollar found in the cushion.
Why he's got money in cushions? I don't know.
Kirby says an attorney told him that he had no legal obligation to give the money back, but he felt like he had to morally. And that's something that Rick Merling, the store manager, thinks is heartwarming.
Integrity is doing what's right when no one is watching. Sad so many people don't do this anymore. Bless this man for doing what's right.
Hipo, sini.
Don't get beat. They're speaking Indonesia, folks. He says 1, 2, 3. Yay. This is in Indonesia.
Pinter banget.
Itu 25.000, Ibu.
Oh, dia perhitungan ya, Ibu. Dah, Ibu.
Dadah.
Are you in
Because of AI, it's hard to believe what you see now on social media.
The top 20 in the world, or
Yeah.
top 20? Wow, in Diablo.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell everybody your handle? No, don't tell them. Don't tell them. It's not worth it.
Well, they actually listed me with my actual name. There's only 2 Americans in the top 20. Almost everyone is from Asia otherwise.
It's so difficult that it requires you to only think about that, and it can like relieve stress.
If I play a video game on extreme difficulty, then I have to concentrate fully on the game. It has a calming effect.
Anyone who maxed out in Diablo isn't good. They just have incredible amounts of time on their hands. Diablo gameplay is brain rotting. I was a gamer. I know. I repent. What? What? P. Diddy was the main Disney villain all along.
There was an Eminem bar. I don't know if you've seen that.
Nah.
So Eminem's song, I think it was featuring JID. There's a verse in it. Like, I'll play
Let me
it for you.
see. What the heck?
So he pretty much says, he calls himself a rapper with R-A-P-E-R. Oh, he wouldn't leave out the other P, did he?
He didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he? Yep.
Oh.
So, get it?
Yeah.
So, R-A-P-E-R, not
Obviously.
rapper.
Yeah,
it's-
obviously. Yeah.
And he says, I have so many S-A, like, just listen to
Is
it.
this recent?
Hold on. I'll
Yeah,
play it. I'll
man.
play
Wait,
it.
what? Is this in his new album?
I'm pretty sure it's kind of
It's
recent.
not recent,
Holy
but
smokes, that's crazy.
Eminem did. Look at this. Look.
Let me see.
Look, listen.
Got so many essays, essays.
Did he? Oh, get it?
he did he. I think he said
crazy.
did he.
So he's calling out that he knows about something else going down at these Diddy parties
Yeah.
that lead to those things.
You know what they say? Ain't no party like the Diddy party.
Skynet is now online.
Gifyon is going to be a factory of intelligence. And this factory of intelligence is a new industry that never existed before. It sits on top of the IT industry. We're inventing something fundamentally new.
How ironic that just days before the Terminator's 30th anniversary, NVIDIA founder and CEO Jensen Huang, along with the King of Denmark, launched the country's largest AI supercomputer.
The CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer.
Skynet, Gephion, aims to drive breakthroughs in quantum computing, clean energy, biotechnology, and other areas that benefit both Danish society and the world. Yeah, right, I've heard that before.
In a few months, he creates a revolutionary type of microprocessor.
Go on. Then what?
In 3 years, Cyberdyne will become the largest supplier of military computer systems. All stealth bombers are upgraded with Cyberdyne computers, becoming fully unmanned. Afterwards, they fly with a perfect operational record. The Skynet funding bill is passed. The system goes online on August 4th, 1997. Human decisions are removed from strategic defense. Skynet begins to learn at a geometric rate. It becomes self-aware at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Time, August 29th.
Skynet? So Terminator was a documentary of the future?
Oh, here we go. Washington has officially activated the National Guard after receiving new information and concerns regarding potential violence related to the election. Now, the governor hasn't disclosed how many troops were being activated, but said that they would be on standby from November the 4th to the 7th. And he said that based on general and specific information, I want to ensure that we are fully prepared to respond.
Can someone explain what this means?
Suck your blood and they taunt you by dancing near your ears and like and they never stay still. They always just like, it's almost like they purposefully challenging you. It's like
I know exactly what he's talking about. We got crazy mosquitoes here. My nephew got hit twice with malaria. My mother once. Jim Carrey has spoken out a lot about it. Ooh. Yup, that's him right there. Wow. Oh. Whoa. Wow. Yeah, but the Michael Jackson one was after plastic surgery. What do you think?
There was this guy posted a video and it's going viral where he goes into an abandoned washroom, right? Yeah. He pulls out his phone and he starts talking. I think he starts talking in Spanish. Oh, guys, I'm here by myself. There's no one here around me, but I'm getting this weird feeling. Yeah. Right? So he's there and he's going into each stall and he's like, okay, nobody's there, nobody's there, nobody's there, right? When he turns around, he hears a knock from one of the stalls. He just went in. Yeah. I'll show you the video. You have to catch it really fast. You see something in the stall. So it was like fucking with him. It knocked when he was facing the mirror. He turned around, went in, nothing. It knocked again and you can see it. No. Yeah, hold on. Just like I believe this is real. Let me see. Okay, cool. So he's in the washroom. You have to catch it, right? He's in the washroom alone. Okay. Catch it. Wait. Go back. Catch it again. Look in the crack. Ready? Yeah. Oh! But look. He went right. Like, there's no stoppage in the video. Watch. There's no stoppage. Right? Oh, you see the face? Go up. There's no one there. No. That's... So it's like messing with him. Yeah.
Every year, a herd of just over 2,600 horses cross the Bering Strait from Russia to Alaska. They summer in the Dagon region of Russia. That's where they're native to. But it gets a little bit too chilly for them. And so over hundreds of years, they've learned to cross the Bering Strait. And how they do it is because there's no bridge that goes across, is they go on ice as far as they can. Then they have to jump into the frigid water and they have to swim a bit. And they get to a small island that's a part of Alaska. And the U.S. has funded a bridge project where they've built a bridge between the islands of Alaska. Wow. And so this is actually the last bridge
Wow, look at that.
that they cross going from a small Alaskan island into the Kenai Peninsula of Alaska. It's quite incredible, quite an amazing feat that they've evolved. It's nice that humans assist them now by building these bridges. This year when they're getting to Alaska, it's actually not quite snowing yet, so they're getting here early this year, but an amazing feat.
That's why all those horses made one horse carry all the bags.
Yesterday, I talked to you about Peanut the squirrel, who was living with this couple for about 7 years, and the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, along with the Chemung County Department of Health, came in, took the squirrel and a raccoon that was living with this couple, and euthanized both of them on the grounds that they had to check them for rabies. The amazing thing is that even the Wall Street Journal has printed an op-ed basically saying to this guy Longo, which is a real sad commentary, the guy who owned the squirrel, the Peanut incident has exploded on social media as an example of abusive government, and it's hard to conclude otherwise. There's nobody more vengeful than a bureaucracy that's been embarrassed when its bullying zealotry is exposed. And the Wall Street Journal is basically saying that he's worried about whether or not the New York State bureaucrats will go after this guy because he exposed them for what they did, which was outrageous. Now, there are also people telling me that the animals did not need to be euthanized in order to determine whether or not they had rabies. I'm not even assuming that one of them was bitten, which is what the DEC alleges. The truth is, none of them would have gone in without gloves to take wild animals. So if you know anything about whether or not they have to put an animal down to determine whether it has rabies, or whether you just isolate it for 10 days, which is something else that people have been telling me, I'd really like to know. But this case just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I feel bad for Peanut.
They could have been isolated them for 10 days and monitored closely by a veterinary. Peanut and Fred didn't have to die.
This is the woman who allowed Fred and Peanut to be murdered. Not only is her name Karen, it says DEC congratulates Captain Karen, the first woman ever to serve as the director of our division of law enforcement. Not only is that going on, she makes $220,000 a year to go around murdering your pets. Make it make sense.
All involved should be fired.
Chris has one of, if not the highest IQ ever recorded, somewhere between 190, 195, and 210.
IQ is not the last word on intelligence by any means. IQ is where you focus. You can focus, marshal all your intellectual energy, and focus it very tightly on one item you've been presented with. Okay, there's tests contain items, and you're focusing on each one of those items. You're not seeing anything else. Okay? And that's what IQ is. But in addition to that depth and that focus, there is also aperture. Think of the mind as a kind of camera. Okay? What a lot of high IQ people have a lot of difficulty doing is widening their mental aperture. You've got to be flexible. You've got to be able to widen and narrow that aperture at will as you're doing the depth perception too. So you've got the focus, depth of focus, the magnification, as it were, plus the aperture. And most people, most high IQ people, they have the magnification, but they don't have the aperture.
How come these high IQ geniuses never make massive breakthroughs?
This involves aliens. A couple days ago, there was a whistleblower talking about this program in the Pentagon, an undisclosed head organization over UAP, UFO. This thing is called the Immaculate Constellation. So this whistleblower went to Congress. Congress went to the Department of Defense, and they said, we know that you have a undisclosed organization. They responded like, no, we don't have the Immaculate Constellation. And they said, we never said that. So now they're holding a congressional hearing on November 13th. There are going to be witnesses that come forward to divulge all. I truly feel that there is going to be a great deception that is about to happen. The faked alien invasion. What that ushers in is potentially a one world government. But there's people like Lou Elizondo and David Grush, they're saying there's an imminent threat. And I think these guys are fully planned because he said something along the lines of it's imminent and I wish we had more time. Time is so valuable. I feel like they're setting the stage so when something happens,
they offer a solution.
Yes.
Project Bluebeam.
A grisly scene. Police say they caught this woman cooking human body parts after she'd been casting spells. I have the details on the shocking case out of Kentucky and where the case stands. This case sounds like something out of a horror movie. I actually had to look at the headline 2 or 3 times to make sure that I was reading it correctly. And what I'm going to tell you is really, really gruesome and disturbing. So just prepare yourself for that. I'm going to detail what police found for you here in just a bit. Right now, Toralina May Fields is in the Bourbon County Detention Center facing a number of charges after Kentucky State Police say they found the body of Toralina's mother outside of the home that they shared. Once inside, police say they found a pot that was still warm to the touch with body parts inside. It's truly shocking. And this would be shocking if it happened anywhere, but this happened, this grisly discovery was in the small city of Mount Olivet, Kentucky, halfway between Cincinnati and Lexington, Kentucky. About 350 people live there. So this is a very small town. Trooper Jones said Toralina Fields wasn't being combative. She just refused to come out of the house. Photos from Fox 19 and WKRC in Cincinnati show the scene where members of the special response team met at the property. And you can also see the house in these photos. A citation is offering more details about the efforts to get Toralina to come out of the house. It reads, upon making entry into the residence, the female subject, Toralina May Fields, was the only individual located inside. Toralina refused to exit the residence when multiple commands were given. CS gas was deployed by SRT after multiple volleys of CS gas and conversing with Toralina using a robot. Toralina was removed from the residence without further incident. Toralina appeared to have blood on her face, hands, and clothing. The complaint offers other disturbing details about the dismembered body of Trudy Fields, that's Toralina's mother, that was found in the backyard. Troopers observed a dismembered body lying in the grass behind the residence. In close proximity of the body is a blood-stained mattress. Troopers observed blood on the back porch in the threshold of the back door. Also on the back porch, troopers observed a blood-stained wooden stick and another blood-stained mattress. Drag marks in the grass leading from the residence to the body were observed. Troopers found that Trudy Fields' body had been dismembered. The arms, legs, and head had been removed. The torso and spine were severed in half and the organs removed. The mattress lying next to the dismembered body was folded over in half. Upon unfolding the mattress, multiple body parts and organs were found inside that appeared to have been cooked inside the oven. The pot was still warm to the touch.
So my question is, why did police go there? Why brought attention to this home?
Proof we are all being played.
I get up at 4:45 in the morning and I don't see a sign of the government anywhere. Every single day for 8.5 hours, I exchange my time for labor. I don't see the government anywhere. Except for on Thursdays. Thursdays I get my paycheck. That's when the government shows up. That's when they feel they are entitled to split half of the currency I made for trading my time, my skills, my labor. This goes on throughout the year, where I'm responsible to keep records of all of this. At the end of the year, it's my responsibility to prepare all that documentation for them to review it. They then determine if their cut was large enough. If I don't meet their schedule, I face fines, fees, or the threat of being locked up in one of their cells. I guess some people call this taxation, but it doesn't meet my definition. To me, that sounds a lot more like fraud, embezzlement, and fucking slavery. I think
it's more effective to work out a little bit every day than it is to work out a lot a couple days a week. Number one reason why. Habits are better formed when we do them
regularly versus when we do them sporadically. Our bodies also adapt better that way. If you want to really hack this is what you do. Get a pair of dumbbells or some resistance bands, keep them in your house, and instead of going to the gym twice a week for 45 minutes a day, do 10 to 15 minutes a day, every day. Go do 2 exercises. That's it. Today I'm going to do squats and I'm going to do some push-ups. Tomorrow I'm going to do overhead press and I'm going to do some deadlift. The next thing I'm going to do some crunches and I'm going to do some hip thrusts. That's it. 10 to 15 minutes a day. It's more effective psychologically. The behaviors will develop faster. All the busy people, the executives, the people who are really truly like working crazy hours, it's easier for them to find 15 minutes a day than it is for them to find an hour twice a week. That's just a fact. People are at home with their kids, same thing. You tell a mom or a dad who's at home with the kids, can you make time to go to the gym 2 or 3 days a week for an hour? I'm like, oh my God, I gotta plan this out. Maybe find a babysitter. But if I say to, hey, can you do like 10, 15 minutes a day? Oh yeah, I can do that. It's far easier to stay consistent. So yeah, try that out. 2 exercises a day, 10 to 15 minutes. Keep the intensity moderate. Watch what happens to your body. You'll be blown away.
Spot on. 10, 15 minutes a day along with proper diet will do wonders.
One of the most demonic shows on TV. Watch this.
So one of the most demonic shows on TV was I've Loved Lucy.
Wow.
Really?
I've Loved Lucy
I
with
Love
Ricky
Lucy?
Ricardo with Santero.
The black
Straight
and
from
white?
Cuba. And Ricky Ricardo used to sing the song Babalua Ye. And we used to sing that song like it was like, you know, it was like salsa night. And Babalua Ye is a principality. And we usher the devil into our house by singing the song, because whatever you chant to becomes your God.
See, remember, that's coming from an ex-high priest Satanist that's telling you that because they do hidden things in TV shows to get you to fall into their demonic tricks. And if you stand against demonic, say, I stand against the demonic today, and subscribe or follow for more Jesus content like this.
I stand against the demonic today in Jesus Christ's mighty name.
Cipriani's is one of the more famous restaurants in New York City, and Crystal McKinney, a model signed with IMG Models, is invited there to meet with this huge fashion designer, Sean Diddy Combs of the Sean John clothing line. He had just launched his Sean John clothing line, and they're doing like $450 million in retail sales. This is gonna be the next huge step in Crystal's career. There's no connection like Diddy in the industry. She had to fly all the way from Miami to New York City, but that's fine. She shows up to Cipriani's. She's seated directly across from Diddy, and almost instantly, he's hitting on her. Quote, coming on in a sexually suggestive manner. He keeps telling her that she's beautiful, her eyes are gorgeous, you're gonna make it one day as a model, you're gonna be big one day, especially because I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna get you the connections. And he's just nonstop whispering these things to her, refilling her wine glass nonstop. He gives her his number and tells her, call me later tonight. That night, he instructs her to meet him at his New York City studio, at which point there's a bunch of people drinking there, just smoking a joint, drinking. She smokes weed, so Crystal accepted, but that was not weed. Supposedly, she believes it's weed laced with a narcotic and maybe some other intoxicating substances, because one hit, that's it. She's like, that is crazy, because she's a weed smoker, so this is not weed. One hit and she's feeling not well, and he tells her, you're being way too uptight, keep drinking, keep drinking. She said she feels like she's floating in the air. Eventually, she's unable to control her body. She tries to go use the restroom, but allegedly Diddy follows her in and essays her. He forces her head down and commands her to, quote, suck it. She refused, but he allegedly forced her anyway. And she states that he just left once he was done getting what he wanted. She gets up, ends up losing consciousness. The next thing she remembers is just in a cab heading out of the studio. Years later, Crystal would end up hospitalized after a self-exit attempt.
Wow.
And it's hard, she states in the lawsuit, because everywhere she would go, she would be reminded of her alleged assayer. He's everywhere, on TV, music, film, everywhere, being celebrated, everywhere, and she can't escape. She said, I had my whole future mapped out that was stolen from me. Being essayed and having no recourse is so painful. I felt like I was dying. Every day, I did not have the strength to come forward yet. I hope that by speaking out, I can help other victims come forward and seek justice.
The fact that this story is real is genuinely terrifying.
His name was Max Logan, and at 13 years old, he discovered a device that cost only $14 and could create pure energy. He called it electromagnetic harvester, and now people don't know what happened to him. I searched it myself, and some people say that he's missing. Other people said that he passed away with his mother in a car crash. Creating pure energy for only $14 is insane, so people think that the government came after him. But you can let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Why is it constantly acceptable for everyone knowing the government took him out, yet do nothing about it? It drives me crazy.
No one any longer is allowed to speak bad about Chinese cars after this one. This car has futuristic technologies that allow it to parallel park so much easier.
Wow.
And it has over 1,000 horsepower. And listen to this.
Look at that.
It cost only $56,000. Which country makes a car with 1,000 horsepower and cost this little? Like, if you checked an Italian car, a German car, a Japanese car, it would cost so much so much more. Like at least quadruple the price to get a car with 1,000 horsepower. This is called BYD Denza Z9 GT. Not a limited production, it's unlimited, has wireless charging phone, digital mirror, and look at this.
Wow.
A wing, that dynamic wing, and the best part, look at this. I've never seen this on any car before,
Wow.
not the massage seat. The next part, a digital screen on your window.
If China can make cars so cheap, it means the West has been overcharging for decades now.
The LA home is described as, quote, an immersive experience. It's on the same street as the Playboy Mansion as well as Kylie Jenner's home. The house is one of the pricier residential homes in Southern California. It's actually on the market right now if you're interested for $61 million. It looks more like a resort than a residential home. It's a modern colonial style home. It's all white. It looks like the White House on steroids with beautiful French doors, beautiful iron balconies on the second floor. It's got this massive swimming pool, basketball court, a separate 2-story guest house, state-of-the-art movie theater that seats 35 guests, a resort-like swimming pool with a waterfall, a spa house, gym, recording studio. There's this giant metal statue in the back. It looks like one of those metal statues, and if you were to slice it back and forth, it's like rings.
Yep.
It's the headless torso of Kim Porter.
What?
It's said often that he speaks to her giant metal bust. It was his tribute to his now gone Kim Porter. It's a massive 10-bedroom, 13-bathroom estate, 17,000 square foot home. But in March 2024, tanks are driving up to that house. A swarm of fully decked out in tactical gear officials start clearing through that house. They've got guns pointed in every direction. They're sending in drones to check rooms. Diddy's 2 sons, 30-year-old Justin and 25-year-old Christian, are forced up against the wall, handcuffed with guns pointed at them. They're dragged out of the house while the rest of the team tear through that place. Which is interesting, because what exactly are these Homeland Security officials looking for? It's said by the time that they left, there were just cables dangling around, like they unplugged some security cameras, multiple safes that were left wide open, almost 100 electronics confiscated. At the same time, his massive $40 million compound in Miami was also raided by Homeland Security at the same time.
Whoa.
Coordinated. It's a pretty crazy visual to see Homeland Security just rolling up in tanks, camo, full gear, raiding a mansion in a neighborhood where you've got the hedge fund billionaire, Citadel founder Ken Griffin just down the block, where Philip Frost, a pharmaceutical billionaire, owns a large piece of land. There's only like 50 houses on this little island that he lives in Miami. It's called Star Island. It's like a billionaire island.
40 million Miami home, 60 million LA home, both getting raided at the same time.
By Homeland Security.
And where is Diddy?
Diddy? He's at an airport in Miami.
Oh, so he wasn't there?
No, there's actually footage of him.
He ran away.
It said that he was searched at the Miami airport. It's like a private small airport in Miami. There's actually someone who took a video of him pacing around because I'm sure he's getting all the news that his homes are getting raided. He just got spoken to by Homeland Security. And someone says ominously while they're recording Diddy, you're probably wondering what's gonna happen next, Diddy.
I guess you wonder what's gonna happen next, Diddy. I know.
It's very unsettling. The whole thing is unsettling.
Not that I could afford it, but I wouldn't be moving in till the whole place is gone over with a UV light.
Do you think we need to worry about what they're putting in our electronics?
Yeah, I'll give you one example. I bought this awesome all-in-one vacuum mop called Tineco. It completely connects to a Chinese server to transmit and receive information. I made a joke out of it. I actually have a video of it where you can turn the audio on for it. Like when you plug it in, it says charging started, charging stopped. I think when you put it on and off, I can control that with my computer through a Chinese cloud server. There's no reason that vacuum and mop should connect to a Chinese cloud infrastructure whatsoever, but it does. cameras, and at any point they could change the way that functionality works and take over my home network with this vacuum mop.
Are you serious with a vacuum mop?
Yep.
How many devices do you think have these things in them?
Anything with a Wi-Fi connection, it's, you know, not everything's going to be China beaconing back and forth, but anything with a Wi-Fi capability is going to open up an attack vector.
That's
Washing
crazy.
machines, refrigerators, just why does a vacuum mop
I don't know.
Wi-Fi capability?
I'd love to tell you.
That's crazy, man.
Why is Eastern Europe so gray and gloomy? In 1961, Soviet engineer Vitaly Lagutenko released the design of a prefabricated 5-story building, which later became known as the Hrushevka. The Hrushevkas were very cheap, and sometimes an entire building could be constructed within just 2 weeks.
What?
In the 1960s, 64,000 units of this type were built in Moscow alone, and then later across the whole Eastern Bloc.
Wow. That's crazy. 2 weeks? Mind blowing. Anyone want to go there with me? Yep. Ubud Bali, folks. Check them out.
Appearances matter. It's the animal part of our nature. We judge people by how they appear, how they dress, their tone of voice, their body language, etc., etc. It would be, in an ideal world, we wouldn't judge people by appearances. We would just judge them by what's inside of them. Yes, I agree with that. But that we're not ideal. We're not descended from angels. We're descended from primates. So you have to understand that appearances matter. And this is part of the game. And so you have to control your appearances a little bit. You have to tailor it. You have to be a bit of actor in this world. And on and on.
I heard, I don't know if this is true, Sahar, but people are saying this is true. Girls will only date somebody subconsciously that they think could kill them.
No,
What?
come on, man.
Subconsciously.
That was the most Carlos sentence I've ever heard in my life.
I thought it was going like, no.
I thought it was going a completely different direction.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Exactly. So check this out. So I'm pretty sure they did a research on this. Like, this is real. That
this is real.
Subconsciously, girls will go after people that they think could overpower them or overtake them.
Max definitely could have killed me.
For the reason of basic needs of survival.
Yeah, it's like protection, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you think a person could protect me, then I feel like all girls and stuff like that.
if you don't think they could take you
Then
out,
you-
how are they gonna take someone else?
Yeah. Do you think you guys could kill your girlfriends?
Whoa!
Now you're setting us up.
Some crazy.
You just said it. You just said subconsciously they dated you because they know.
I don't know.
you
I would
could
have to
kill
ask my girl if she, but probably.
But subconscious means we don't even
Oh,
realize.
yeah,
We don't realize it.
So,
We don't realize it.
Yeah.
But do you think so? Do you think that's true? I think it's true.
To be honest,
because survival-wise,
low key in the sense that I'm I look for someone who could protect me, like
Yeah.
in any way. Like I want to be with someone where, like, if we're on the streets, nobody would even try to like rob us because they're scared of him. You know what I mean? So I guess in a way, yeah. But I don't think I'm out here thinking like, could he kill me?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Perfect,
You don't like.
It's just subconscious.
It's just subconscious.
I think that could be true. Yeah.
So what's the guy version? What's the girl version of that?
Girl version.
What do you
I
think?
think it's a girl, like someone who could take care of you, like when you're like sick and like baby you.
Oh,
no emotion.
I have a story for you. Fam. I met somebody that worked with Mr. Beast recently.
No.
Yeah, because it was around Tiff, right?
What happened? What did he say?
She pretty much said him on camera and him when the camera's off are two completely different people. It's almost as if like the moment you turn on the camera, he's this happy-go-lucky type of guy. And when the cameras go off, like he doesn't care about nobody.
No.
I mean, I can't say for myself. That's just what she said.
No, but that's the source.
That's just the source.
Trust me, source.
I'm not,
Crazy, bro.
I could see that though. I
You
could
know
see
what I mean?
that. But also, it could be a thing. For the benefit of the doubt, I will say, being a man like Mr. Beast, it would take a lot of your energy to do those videos. And he definitely has so much stress of so many different projects he's working on. I could see that's why he has to, you know, put on this persona, put the energy down, give himself some rest. Do you think he does it for the money though? I don't know. I don't know if he does.
Bro, at this point, he's dropping Lunchables. So what? I don't know what.
But he does a lot of philanthropy. So I don't know. I'm like on the fence with it still. I'm on the fence with it.
I had just literally told y'all and put up a video and said that the landmass is starting to move, yo. Somewhere in China, a whole mountainside just shifted to the right side, y'all. Then remember I put up the movie 2012. And then remember in the movie 2012, they was telling us that the land, earth, plus displacement, whatever it was called, was going to start happening before everything went to shit, you feel me? Look at that, y'all. I had to zoom in. This is crazy. And for those who didn't see the video, this is it right here. Look at this. Look how the land just starts shifting, y'all. And stuff starts spreading apart. Look at that. And it's crazy literally because the movie 2012, and I think, what was the other one? The movie Day After Tomorrow. These movies told us these events are supposed to occur, y'all. I think that it's really time for us to wake up.
Scriptures tells us that God will move mountains and cause the rocks to come to life.
This artist simulates the visual effects of taking psychedelics. Loca's journey began with a passion for exploring the mind's deeper dimensions, leading him to create audio-visual simulations that attempt to push the boundaries of perception. The artist's intention is for his immersive experiences to replicate psychedelic visuals with unmatched realism. And the overwhelming response to his work is that it is indeed an extremely accurate representation of what people see and how they feel when tripping on psychedelics. Speaking about his work, Loca says, "What do you see when you take psychedelics? Indescribably complex patterns embedded in surfaces, inanimate objects breathing, moving, warping, colors shifting and cycling through different hues and shades. I'm here to replicate these effects using CGI."
Let me know if this is close or not, folks.
Did you guys know or remember the South Park episode where this was included in it? This is news to me. Apparently it's actually a bit old. But it's season 24, episode 2. Ugh. And you can watch them talk about this sort of thing, and it's exactly what you think it is. And that's Oprah.
Folks, you need to watch Inside Job. It's truth in plain sight.
Who remembers this interview? When Cardi B did this? Just froze out of nowhere for no reason. And Cardi is not the only person to do this on TV. There are many people doing this same thing. There's Big Shaq doing the exact same freeze pose. Who remembers Eminem doing it on TV? He didn't exactly freeze, but he's not exactly Eminem either, is he? Here's another guy, live TV, does the exact same pose and freeze. So, can someone help me out then and explain to me, why do all of these celebrity people freeze or pause at random times but on live TV? I have no idea. One thing that I am definitely sure about is, not everything that you see on TV is what it seems.
No way. The glitch when certain words are said often is when Jesus Christ is mentioned. It's a mind control technique. They are triggered by keywords.
Seriously, can anyone explain to me why the Pope has this symbol on his robes that is identical to a giant geoglyph of a humanoid looking figure in the northern desert of Chile? Like, seriously, what is going on here? It's pretty common knowledge that the global elites know a lot more than they let us normies in on, but this is literally like waving it in front of our face. Like, what is this? Before anybody starts commenting saying this picture is fake or it's probably been altered or AI, no. This was posted 6 years ago in an article by The Guardian. Now, I had to scribble out a little bit of the title, but Catholic Church, children, I'm sure you can understand the context of this article. So unless The Guardian are posting pictures of the Pope with aliens on his robes for absolutely no reason and no relevance to their story, then I feel pretty comfortable in saying that this is a real image. So what kind of significance does it have to this? the Atacama Giant. This is one of the biggest geoglyphs in the world depicting a humanoid figure. It's believed to have been created between 1,000 and 1,400 years ago by ancient Incan cultures. It's over 100 meters tall and it's on the Pope's robes. Why? Like seriously, like let's move away from aliens and UFOs for a second and just can anybody actually tell me why does the Pope have this on his robes? It is aliens.
I googled. It was a robe made by a textile artist from Chile, and the motif is the Atacama Giant.
Oh my gosh, I've been waiting forever to announce this. This is Tom Matt. He has upsight vision. He can literally communicate with the simulation, with the Matrix, with reality. He sees things in front of him, and there's a peer review being written that the objects he's seen in front of him are not schizophrenia, are not a hallucination. He is observing real things in reality that others can't see. And guess what? We're developing a docu-series about this that we are filming next year. I can't share too much yet. Basically, the world is waking up to the fact that there is another world within our world or outside of our world. I really don't know which, but we are learning how to communicate with that. And Tom is one of the pioneers of this communication. Some of us have clairaudience, clairsentience. He has upsight vision. So let me get into it. This is not in his mind's eye. He has seen these images in front of him. He explains it as a holographic, usually colorless image that he can sometimes manipulate and shape. Sometimes he's seen a memory or an imprint, and sometimes it's an actual being that can communicate with him. It kind of looks like this, but not pink. Pink would be really cool. I don't think it's pink. So basically, he's working with ions to make a peer-reviewed study, which will come out. You can follow him to learn more. I linked his stuff in my bio, his TikTok. But yeah, we're developing a TV series about it, and I'll tell you more very soon. He has what's called the 8 stages of upsight, where he tries to teach people, because a lot of you have this ability. More about it. Mwahaha.
Most people may not know there hasn't been an official war declared since World War II. There is no official war unless Congress declares war. And every war that has been existing, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, Gulf War, Afghanistan, all of it, are all proxy wars because those were never declared by Congress. When was the last time the United States was actually at a security threat? Like right now, the real threat that the government's trying to push are migrants crossing the border. Doesn't matter on what side of the false paradigm you want to follow, because that is the boogeyman threat. These are going to create sleeper cells. These are going to create these inside opportunities, these false flags. The only reason they even tell you the public is because they're just prefacing you, we're about to steal more of your money. The new speaker, he just said, I want $14.3 billion to give exclusively to Israel. But at the end of the day, they're both saying we need to give more money for this war. What war? Declare war. If it's a real war and you really want real money, we'll give you money. Declare war. But you won't. And there's a reason why you won't. But then you want to convince us and use the word war, but you won't declare war. And at the end of the day, what you're doing, I want money. And where's all this money going to go? It's going to go to all the defense contractors. It's got to build more missiles, more bombs, more airplanes, more boats. It's going to be sent over to places so you can use it as proxy banks, so you can take money later, so you don't have to ask the public anymore, so you got billions of dollars sitting over in Ukraine or Israel or whatever. It's not because there's a war. It's just because you need more money. The government sets up these proxy states. The proxy states are basically banks. Ukraine is just a bank for the United States. Israel's just a bank for the United States. And whenever we give the government money, they say, we're going to give this money to Israel. We're going to give this money to Ukraine. But it's the United States giving that money, and the United States ultimately can control where that money, and you may think, oh, they can't because it's the government. Those countries would not be able to function without the assistance of the United States. They're not going to all of a sudden say, we're not listening to you. They're proxy states. They're under the thumb of the United States. So these are just banks. And it's no different than what Bill Gates does with the Gates Foundation. He gives his money there, rich people give his money there, and then they use that money for whatever real agenda they want to do. That's the same thing going on.
People are saying that Trump declared war on the deep state during his first term. Is that right?
These things happened. When they filmed The Wizard of Oz, they wanted the wizard to have a coat that looked elegant but worn out. The wardrobe department bought one from a thrift store. While wearing the coat during the movie, the actor playing the wizard found a note in one of the pockets. It was a label that said the coat belonged to L. Frank Baum. L. Frank Baum wrote The Wizard of Oz. Henry Sieglin decided to leave his wife. She was so upset that she took her own life. The wife's brother, out for revenge, shot Henry Sieglin in the head and then took his own life. But the bullet had only grazed Zieglin and got stuck in a nearby tree.
What?
20 years later, Zieglin was trying to remove a tree from his yard with dynamite. The explosion did destroy the tree, but also blasted the 20-year-old bullet out of the tree, across the yard, and into Zieglin's head, killing him instantly.
That bullet had his name on it for years.
These things happened. On June 20th, 1941, Soviet archaeologists uncovered the tomb of Tamerlane, a descendant of Genghis Khan. An inscription read, "Whoever opens my tomb will unleash an invader more terrible than I."
They didn't open it, did they?
They sure did. And 2 days later, Germany invaded Russia. December 5th, 1660, a ship sank in the Menai Strait off the coast of Wales. There was only one survivor. His name was Hugh Williams. December 5th, 1767, another ship sank in the same place. 127 people died, but one man survived. His name was Hugh Williams. On August 8th, 1820, another boat sank near the River Thames. There was only one survivor. His name was Hugh Williams. In 1940, a boat sank off the coast of England. Only 2 people survived, a man and his nephew.
Let me guess. One of them was named Hugh Williams?
Nope.
Oh.
They both were.
Check the passenger list before getting on a boat. If Hugh Williams is on the list, take a plane.
In his song, whether he is serious or it's just creative liberty, he has just now accused Diddy of murder. Eminem releases a diss track titled Kill Shot. The lyrics read, "But Kels, the day you put out a hit is the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out that got Pac killed." He has just now accused Diddy of murder. But at the end of the song, Eminem says, "And I'm just playing Diddy. You know I love you." Diddy never made a public statement about Eminem's lyrics, but sources that were close to Diddy said he was furious. He was pissed off. So what the hell does this all mean? If he's not joking, that means Eminem truly just accused Diddy of killing one of the biggest names in the rap world, Tupac? But that was in 2018. Nobody was focusing on Diddy. Nobody was focusing on these lyrics until 2024. This year, Eminem releases yet another song called Fuel, and this time it's in your face. The lyrics read, "I'm like an RAPER, got so many essays." Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he? Rest in peace, Biggie and Pac, both of y'all should be living. But I ain't trying to beef with him, cause he might put a hit out on me like Keefy D get him. Now, in a 3.5-minute song where Eminem is rapping at an unhumanly fast speed, it might be hard to realize, especially if you don't know many of the people that he's referencing. I mean, the RAPER, that one is very obvious. He's calling P. Diddy a rapper. But the next part, he's talking about 2 rappers that were murdered, Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac. They were both related to Diddy. One he saw as his main competitor, and the other one he saw as this money-making machine for his label. And within 6 months of each other, both of them were murdered. There are new allegations surfacing that Diddy might be responsible for both, which a lot of people find it very easy to believe, considering that Diddy has a past of people dying around him.
Eminem got 50 Cent and Dr. Dre on his 6, so he's not afraid.
If I were to tell you that you could land your dream life in just 6 months, and I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like I'm living my dream life, so I feel like I might have a little bit of credibility to speak on this. Now, we all know AI is going to make more millionaires and more billionaires in the least amount of time than ever before, and we're going to see our first individual trillionaire because of AI. The speed at which AI makes things happen is like overnight as opposed to years in the making. Which is why now you can achieve your dream life in only 6 months instead of 10, 20, 30 years. So I'm going to give you 5 ChatGPT AI prompts that you can use to have your dream life in just 6 months. Let's go. So I'm going to rapid fire through these so I don't have to make 2 videos out of it. So these are really, really good. You're going to want to get pen and paper and write this down and save this video so you can refer back. So number 1, this is the 40% rule. Here is the prompt. I often feel like I'm reaching my limits during, list the specific task or activity. Can you help me brainstorm ways to push beyond this apparent barrier and help tap into the remaining 60% of my potential? Because, right, apparently we're only using 40% of our brain if you've ever seen the movie Limitless. And that pill, like, made him be able to access 100% of our brain. That's what this prompt is doing for you. And obviously, remember, you can fully customize all of these and add to them as you see fit to get really specific for whatever it is that you want. Number 2, the accountability mirror. I love this one. Here is the prompt. Here are my current goals and shortcomings. Then list your goals and where you fall short. Can you help me develop a daily accountability practice to keep my progress in check and motivate continuous improvement? So good. Number 3, here's how you can become the best version of yourself. Here is the prompt. I have an upcoming competition, event, whatever, against, and then describe the situation. How can I prepare myself to not only meet, but exceed expectations and demoralize competition through my performance? Number 4, here's how you can master anything. Here's how I become an expert negotiator, an expert keynote speaker. Here is the prompt. I am working on mastering a skill or whichever field you're deciding on. Can you help me outline a long-term training plan that emphasizes diligence, thoroughness, and the avoidance of shortcuts? Like, how good is that? Number 5, and if you are like me and you have imposter syndrome, this one is so good and so important. This is how you can change your life positively. Here is the prompt. I struggle with negative self-talk, especially in situations involving, write out your specific scenario or challenge, work, wherever. Can you help me develop a set of positive affirmations and a strategy to transform my mindset? Just so good. And I promise if you guys get these really specific and tailored to you, you will have your dream life in the next 6 months. Enjoy.
I like her. Thank you, Laura. Very insightful.